I'm Lisa Mulligan, physical therapist at Advanced Injury Treatment Center. In this video, we'll bring you 5 strengthening exercises designed to combat poor posture. As many of us are stuck working from home, we find ourselves in front of our laptops, computers, tablets, phones for hours on end, which can lead to a rounded position of the spine, rounded shoulders, and that forward head posture, all of which not only cause extra strain on the cervical spine, but it can weaken and elongate the muscles of the mid and upper back, and even affect the functioning of our vital organs due to poor positioning. So with these exercises, they're designed to strengthen the upper and mid back. The muscles get weak, elongated, opening up the chest and engaging the core, all of which can help prevent the harmful effects of poor posture in the long run. Let's take a look. This is your basic band pullback exercise. You're going to need some resistance tubing or a TheraBand or whatever you have lying around the house. You bring it up to a 90-degree angle, and then you're going to pull your arms away from each other, pinching your shoulder blades in the back, being careful not to arch your spine. Your core is engaged throughout. Good. Pulling it back and keeping your chin just slightly tucked and head long toward the sky. Here you can see we're targeting the middle traps, the rhomboids, the posterior delts, all those muscles that get weak and elongated with that kyphotic posture, too much sitting, basically working from home. For this next exercise, we're going to use a medium-sized yoga ball. You're going to come into a plank position with the yoga ball right at about your hips. Lift up your knees, and when you feel good and balanced, you're going to raise your arms to about shoulder height with your thumbs up toward the air. Now you're going to lift your arms up toward the sky. It's going to be very subtle, trying not to arch your back and keeping your pelvis tucked toward that ball so as not to injure your lower back. And when you're raising your arms up and down, you want to think about pulling your shoulder blade toward your opposite back pocket to try to engage those lower traps. You also want to keep your chin slightly tucked as you raise your shoulders up. Again, if you start to arch your back, go a little lower. Good. For this next exercise, it's very similar to the band pullbacks, except you're going to use gravity and the yoga ball to help target those middle traps, rhomboids, posterior delts. So come into the same position as the last one. And your arms are going to make a T by your side with your palms down. Good. And now, similar to the pullbacks, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, raising your hands up toward the sky. Good. And coming back down. It's a very subtle motion, but you want to make sure that the motion is initiated by those interscapular muscles. And your pelvis is tucked so as not to arch your lower back. And your chin is also a little bit tucked underneath you so you're not extending your head. The next exercise is called a bird dog, and you're going to come into an all-fours position on your mat. Your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips, so scoot forward a little bit with your knees. Good. You're going to start this activity by engaging your core by slightly drawing up your belly button towards the spine so that your core is engaged throughout this whole exercise. Now you're going to reach one hand forward with your thumb up toward the sky and the opposite back leg reaching back in the opposite direction. Good. And back to the starting position. So you're going to do several repetitions on the same side, as many as you can do comfortably without letting your pelvis tip or your hips tip one side or to the other. Good. It's important to engage the gluteal muscles as well after a long day of sitting, because these muscles also get overstretched and weak. Keep the head nice and long with the spine. Good. The next exercise is your basic plank, which many of you are familiar with, but it's important that you do a plank with the correct cues and form so you can best strengthen your postural muscles. So come on out onto your mat in a plank on your forearms, lifting up your knees, and you want to think about lengthening your spine from the base of your sacrum to the top of your head. You want to keep your pelvis tucked underneath you so that your hips aren't arched toward the sky. Engage your core by drawing your belly button just slightly toward your spine. And keep your chin just slightly tucked so your head isn't looking up or down. And you want to hold the plank for as long as you can until you start to lose your form. For example, if your lower back starts to arch, then it's time to drop your knees, take a break. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found these exercises to be helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, please contact us at our Bedford office. We're open and happy to help. Stay safe, everyone.